Ellie the elephant calf was one curious little elephant. Her trunk would twitch at the slightest movement, and her ears would perk up at any new sound. But this got her into trouble sometimes. Just like the time her mother told her not to go into the tall grass near their watering hole because it was dangerous. You never know what's hiding in there, Mama had said. But Ellie couldn't resist the tall grass swaying in the wind. So while her mom wasn't looking, she snuck away from the herd and went wandering. She walked past bushes and trees, her trunk sniffing the air for danger. The tall grass tickled her legs and she swatted at it playfully. But then suddenly the ground started rumbling and a loud voice boomed, "Who's in my territory?" Ellie froze. What was that? Then out of the corner of her eye, she saw a pair of glowing yellow eyes staring right at her. Ellie screamed and ran as fast as her little legs could carry her. She ran through the tall grass, over logs and around rocks, but the sound of heavy footsteps behind her kept getting louder. Ellie could feel her heart pounding in her chest. She had to get away from that scary noise. Then she spotted a muddy puddle and without thinking twice, jumped right in. On the other side of the puddle stood a tall giraffe with a long neck and elegant brown eyes. "Are you okay, little one?" he asked gently. Ellie nodded, too scared to speak. She watched as the big male elephant came up to the puddle, snorted, and drank some water. He looked around, then stared right at her. Ellie panicked and tried to hide in the mud. "Don't be afraid," the giraffe said calmly. "He won't hurt you. That's my brother, Gerald, and even though he looks scary, he's a big softy." Ellie slowly came out of the puddle and introduced herself. "I'm Ellie." "Well, hello there, Ellie," Gerald said with a deep voice. "What are you doing so far away from your family?" Ellie hung her head in shame. She had disobeyed her mother and wandered off. She didn't want to tell them that, though. The giraffe noticed her sadness and asked, "What's wrong, Ellie?" Ellie took a deep breath and explained how she got lost and how scared she was when the big male elephant charged at her. "Oh, I see," the giraffe said understandingly. "Well, if you want to find your family, you have to cross the savannah. Over there is the tall grass where you can hide. Be careful, though, because there might be other animals in there that aren't as friendly as me or Gerald. And there's also a river over there. If you follow its path, it will lead you to a watering hole." Elephants usually go to watering holes to look for each other, but make sure you stay quiet. If you call out for your family, you don't know who might hear you. Ellie thanked the giraffe for his help and quickly made her way to the tall grass. It was so much fun running around the tall grass, Ellie thought. She could hide and peek and maybe even take a little nap. She just hoped her family hadn't gone too far away. As she dozed off, she heard the familiar trumpeting sound of elephants. Ellie's ears perked up and she quickly scanned the area. There they were, her family, walking towards her. Ellie was so happy she couldn't hold back a squeal. She wanted to run to her mom and dad and tell them all about her adventure. But then she remembered what the giraffe had told her. Stay quiet. Ellie watched as her parents and the rest of the herd walked right past her. They must not have seen or heard her. She sighed. Now what? How could she get their attention without making a sound? Then Ellie remembered the muddy puddle from before. She quickly made her way back to it and rolled around in the mud. She figured her family would come back to drink water from the puddle, and if she made enough noise, they'd hear her and come to help. And as if by magic, just as Ellie finished rolling in the mud, her mother appeared at the edge of the puddle. "Ellie," she called out. "There you are. I was so worried about you." Ellie rushed to her mother and hugged her leg tightly. She was so relieved to be found. Her mother noticed the mud on Ellie's body and asked, "What happened to you?" Ellie explained everything, how she met Gerald, how he helped her, and how she almost got lost forever. Her mother listened patiently, then said, "Ellie, I'm proud of you for being brave, but you have to listen to me. Wandering off like that is dangerous. You could have been taken by a lion or a hyena." "I know, Mom," Ellie said, hanging her head in shame. I'll never do it again. Just then, Gerald came over to them. Your daughter is very lucky she met me in the tall grass instead of a predator, he said to Ellie's mother. And to be honest, she was very brave. She didn't have to help me at all, but she did anyway. Ellie's mom gasped. Help you, Gerald? What do you mean? Gerald explained how Ellie saved the zebra. You see, Ellie, when you were taking a nap in the tall grass, you heard a zebra stuck in the mud. You asked me for help to free him, and we did it together. Ellie couldn't believe she had helped a zebra without even realizing it. She had been so busy worrying about herself that she hadn't thought about anyone else. But she felt good knowing that she had done something kind. From that day on, Ellie never wandered off again. She learned that even though it's important to be curious, it's also important to listen to her mom, ask for help when she needs it, and always be ready to help others in need.